lot more flexibility with how you can play. You're not as reliant on a Mercy pocket. You can make more plays. It's a lot more fun. You don't just two-tap people with Rocket anymore. You have to choose if you're going to go aggressive with your conch or if you're going to use it defensively. Same thing goes with your lunge. Same thing goes with your jump jet. I think they could probably even tune the flight, the fuel to be even lower. Frankly, I think she could be even worse at flying. And what they could do is they could do that and then remove her self damage entirely. So you're almost not entirely
What the
reliant, but
hell?
more reliant on rocket jumps to actually maintain verticality. I don't know. I think that I think this is like far and Barrage is kind of a mess, but far like rework is like a good example of I think a step in the right direction, but just not a job entirely done. That's kind of the way I look at it.
I just want to say that you're taking a few steps back here. So what you're saying is that they should delete Mercy from the game because of damage boost.
I think Mercy. I mean, I've had this conversation with Skiesti. Mercy's just a horrific hero design. Horrific. Outside of her movement, the only movement.
It wasn't me this time.
I'll see you on Twitter, bud. It's all right.
It wasn't me this time.
Listen. You guys don't. You guys got it. You guys don't even get it. The Mercy mains, all the ones are. They agree with me. They're pretty reasonable. They like to move. That's what they like to do. They like to move. The game doesn't encourage them to move. So I know this isn't a Mercy.
They like to fly around with their pretty skins.
Right. You don't damage boost and resurrect and the pocket playstyle. Mercy.
That's what I was
Where's Teffy? Where's Teffy?
They don't like that. They don't like that. I think we kind of gaslight ourselves by a couple of really crappy Mercy
I'm
mains,
telling.
but for the most part, Mercy mains, they don't like that either. They just like.
I'm gonna say a quote. Before you two make this face, I'm not letting y'all do that. Listen, I'm gonna say a quote. Okay, the direct quote. I don't care if the world is ending as long as I look cute in my Mercy skin. Direct quote from her. I bet you'll agree. I'm telling you, that's facts. Spilo, can
I don't speak claim to speak for anyone else. I'm staying out of this. I'm staying out of this.
Listen,
Jay,
Spilo, I want to.
I
Go
love
ahead,
Mercy players. I just want to say that.
Before I
Agreed.
move on to your opinions on Pharah, I want to let Jay, anything you want to get off your chest about Mercy? Because that sounded like some baggage that you had.
I love Mercy, man. No, I just think Mercy is such a great character, and I love Mercy's on my team. I love it when they pocket me. I love damage boost.
The revolver right behind his head.
I know.
Listen, I already got banned by the Sim community, but it's the Sim community. I don't want to fuck with the Mercy community, bro. Listen.
Jake, try the Moiras next. It was a good run. Okay, so I wanna preface and then I wanna challenge Spilo a little bit. So one, let me preface by what's so good about this new Pharah. Old Pharah was all about hitting the 2-tap, right? And your conch, you had no option when you were in the air. So you kind of had to play back in the air and predict the movement. Where if you shot the first one, you hit the direct, but there was no way to force them into your second rocket without sacrificing your movement, right? The one-shot combo on Pharah now is shot conch really quick, and you want to put your conch mine in a spot behind them where you can force their movement into your second rocket. So the odds of you hitting your combo are you have way more opportunity to do that, right?
It's like
not to mention,
combo.
yes, it is with an extra step. And now what makes it so good is when you were challenging the hit scan before, you
think
couldn't
so,
use
General?
that conch to knock them into your second rocket without
Call of
dying.
Duty, though?
But
How?
now it's an essential part of your combo. You're disrupting their shot on you, which is the thing that we don't talk about a lot. I think maybe you could nerf the knockback a little bit on it. I'm not sure if you want to do that.
You probably could, yeah.
You get 2 for 1. You're forcing them into your second shot, and you're disrupting all of them at once, which enables you to hit your combo way more. So that's why she's so good. I've actually found her better without the Mercy pocket, and that's what I'm going to challenge you guys on a little bit. I don't think you need the damage from the conch if you're gaining the disruption and the 4 shot in the second shot. Maybe the conch doesn't do the damage. I'm not entirely sure on that yet, but I know why it's so good, and that's kind of what I wanted to challenge your thought on a little bit, Spilo. Yeah. Do you think that because that's why she's so good in my opinion after playing her a ton. Her damage output insane, and not to mention, guys, she bypasses the armor buff that tanks got. She can rip through tanks better than any of the other projectile DPS in the game. You notice it a ton when you're shooting at Ball, shooting at Diva, Mauga, any of the armored tanks. You notice you knock their armor off way faster than any other character in the game. So that was actually, the armor change is really a buff to her too, and you can really feel. That's why post season 9, it felt really good playing the Pharah, because it was okay, wait, I'm ripping through the armor. I'm ripping through, I get more health. I have this combo set up now, right? So that's why she's so good. I think in ranked in particular, she is the strongest projectile character in the game because she's the easiest to get that value on because now that dash is so good in the air. You can't make mistakes anymore. You can't make the mistakes. So like I've noticed when I'm in a bad position, ego peeking these hit scan and I go for that free combo, I get to disrupt them and I have a get out of jail free card. So I do think the damage boost conversation is important, though I would say the one for Pharah and Spylo, you know exactly where I'm going with this. Nano Pharah is better than Nano Blade. I think Nano Pharah is the most overpowered Nano target in the entire game. She is insanely strong with Nano, and including the barrage. So I think I'd be okay for more Pharah changes to come through. I'm not sold on where they should be yet. I think she is too good, and I think they could make a healthy change for everybody that gives Pharah a more unique identity that she can excel with, like the no rocket damage, kind of the rocket jumping around. But she is by far the best projectile hero in the game. I feel like my word on projectile characters. I feel like I've been on the money with them for a long time. I called May. I said Echo was really good at launch when everyone was playing Sojourn Reaper. I think Pharah's the best one right now. I think this is the best time to pick up Pharah if you want to learn Pharah. And she's insanely strong in rank. Go duo with an Ana player and just run these lobbies. I'm so sorry, tank players, for what we're about to do to you. But honestly, you guys are already down the drain. I think they've given up. They're already masochists over there, so it's fine. No big deal. But Pharah's insanely good. Best projectile hero in the game in ranked, in my opinion.
I think you do a lot of tweaks number-wise with the character, like a lot of tweaks. Like I said, the cookie's half cooked. You know what I'm saying? It's not quite there, right? I will say you have to be a little bit careful with like nerfing too many combos because like if you take away the combo, then you remove her ability to actually secure kills quickly. Which then how is she going to function as a flanker? Well, then now we now have a character that kind of still leans into the spam archetype.
And she can combo Tracer too. Sorry, go ahead.
Right. But I think that's kind of what, at least as long as it's skillful and there's some sort of risk involved, then I think it's okay. Because again, otherwise, like then all we have is like Pharah. Like, only combo with Mercy Pocket. Like she can't actually secure kills. She just spams a choke. And I think
I think she's better without Mercy too. Honestly, I don't want the Mercy.
I think she's technically better. She just feels worse. And I think you always have to incorporate how it feels playing versus the character. But yeah, no, I agree. I'm not gonna die in any hills there. So.
Okay, I want to give Jay a quick chance to rebuttal on the Mercy better, like Pharah actually better without the damage boost. Like you kind of had a problem with the damage boost, but you actually think maybe she is better without it. You're muted.
I think her mobility makes her a lot better. Yeah. I do think. I still think adding a Mercy to it makes it.
No, it is. Yeah, I don't think I articulated my point well. I think holistically as a team comp, like I actually prefer playing without the Mercy because my team doesn't have to. Like I think the best style of Pharah after playing her a lot is kind of ratting on your own and being able to play off your teammates' angles and creating those combos because I don't need the Mercy Pocket to combo anymore because I can set it up myself. Right. And that's kind of where I like to play. And when my team's playing like a Lucio Kiri comp or like an Ana Kiri comp, they can set up angles that create more opportunity for me. And I'm just the type of player that likes to read them. Pharah obviously individually is much more powerful with the Mercy, but that's just a particular play style of mine. That's the Echo play style, if you will, because you can play naked Pharah now, which is really, really good. That's what Razor called it. Naked Pharah. Yeah, it's just Pharah without the Mercy.
That sounds like a custom game, to be honest. That sounds like a custom
dude,
game.
the Overwatch custom game. We're not going down that rabbit hole. It's never gonna end. But yeah, I think
okay.
I think the Pharah rework.
Yeah, I'm just gonna moving on now because we again I want to be conscious that we still got a good chunk of DPS heroes to go through. So let's move on to Reaper. Deku, I think you said you don't really play Reaper, but how do you view the state of Reaper? And also bear in mind that we've got a Reaper, not rework, but some sort of jig coming for Reaper that the devs have kind of earmarked. So how do you feel about him? Yeah, they said that they are gonna change him in some significant way. I can't remember exactly what, but
bring back souls.
We could just figure out what Jay's gonna say at any point. Just like whatever it was originally in Overwatch 1, just bring it back.
We haven't got a Torb yet. Armor's coming. Go ahead, Deku.
Yeah, exactly.
Bro,
no worries. I think
Scrap.
Reaper is kind of mid right now. I don't see him in a lot of games, other than if they go Monkey. So I'm not sure if he should be stronger, because if he is stronger, then he's just going to be a really good tank buster probably, and it's just going to make it miserable for tanks to play against him. But yeah, I think he's mid right now. I think maybe he needs something to keep up, but what about you guys?
I'll come back to you in a second. Maybe once we hear Jay's POV. Jay, what do you think?
I think with Pharah being really strong right now, I don't think you can even pick Reaper. I mean,
True,
and
yeah.
and knowing knowing Overwatch's mindset, if you buff Reaper and make Reaper strong, then they're gonna buff tanks to make them, not die from Reaper as quick, and then you're just gonna keep getting buffs and buffs and buffs. But yeah, I don't see a lot of Reapers being played. I think it also brings into consideration that Cassidy, hinder, haha, lol, smile, can't really fade out of anything. So I think Reaper is kind of like mid right now.
And so let's put this question to both Deku and Jay. It's like, what is the thing that maybe you kind of alluded to? Maybe his tank busting is the frustrating part of it, but what's the part that maybe isn't so frustrating that could be buffed to make him a bit more viable? I'll go to you first, Jay.
Maybe his weapon spread. Probably do something with his weapon spread, or maybe like something with mobility. Maybe someone was in my chat saying the devs are also planning that. Oh no, not that one. No, there was
Fuck
another
that
one.
guy.
No, yeah, no. Shadow Step is getting reworked. That's what's been confirmed so far. So that'll be kind of interesting to see what they do.
Okay, and Deku, how about you? What would you change if you were given the reins on Reaper?
I don't know. I don't play any Reaper at all, so I have no knowledge on his playstyle other than like getting into your face and then wraithing away. Other than that, so Shadow Step is his TP, right? Is that the
Yeah.
one that's getting changed? Maybe that'll be something that can help Reaper in this current meta, but yeah, I'm not a Reaper expert, so I don't know.
Okay, interesting. Spylo. Obviously, I'm sure you've probably done a
Yeah.
rework on Reaper already.
Yeah.
So where are we going?
I mean, it's just basically faster TP. I think we had an idea of like possibly giving Wraith form some sort of verticality. I think the problem with Reapers is just making sure that whatever you do, that it doesn't enable him to just bust tanks more. And I think that the spread thing that Jay was mentioning is in like the TP speed stuff like Deku was mentioning is like probably the way to go. Problem with Reaper is just like I think he just lacks like a lot of kit dynamics. So just whatever you do is just like opening up more options, opening more.
Teff, you know what
allowing him
you
to do
just
more
said
things.
you're
My
buying
only
it
hesitation would
twice.
be like you have to be careful with Reaper because he does. If you gave him like too much verticality or too much speed, like Wraith form is like a ridiculously good defensive cooldown. Like it's actually maybe the best defensive cooldown in the game. I'm being a little facetious there, but like it's like old Summer Transcater almost, right? Like it's like if you time it right, like there is no counterplay, right? So we would just have to be careful with like how that's done because they're obviously aware of that. Like even with Venture, they don't want to give that kind of cooldown anymore. So yeah, just more options, tighter spread, faster TP, little things like that.
Sam, do you concur?
Yeah, he just kind of struggles to close the distance, and when he does, he doesn't excel. So I think that's pretty much all he needs.
Comes down to mobility, man. All these new things are having mobility.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one fewer hero. You know, the maps open up so much, right? And so like you have characters that just basically shoot tanks. There's one fewer of those, and the maps are more open. It's like it's fun.
Yeah.
It's
And
fun.
the heroes that could only tank bust can't tank bust because the tanks have so much health.
Yes.
Like you just have to change them around.
Although you'll still see plenty of people picking Reaper and chasing a monkey around, but I don't think
Yeah.
it's as effective as they
Yeah, it's
as they
not.
think
It's
it
not.
is.
It's not. It's not.
It's miserable though, that's for sure. Okay, let's move on to Sojourn then, because this is a hero I'm sure you guys have a lot of thoughts on. Jay, I see Jay vociferously nodding, so I'm going to take it to Jay first. It seems like this is a very strong hero right now, Jay. How do you feel?
I think she is very strong. I think with the buff that was very unnecessary, keeping 25 energy, it makes her even stronger now. She's very good against Maga that's being picked right now. She's very good against Roadhog that's being picked right now. Just farm your rails, look at a squishy and rail them for like I think it's 195 damage. So you basically almost one-shot them. I think she's very strong right now.
And are you okay with that? Like because one thing I've seen a lot of people say is that Sojourn's kind of been like near perma meta since her inception or what she were like at the pro level is like constant Sojourn, and like is that okay? Because some people would say, well, like Tracer, she's a really skillful hero, and I'm okay with that. But are you okay with that?
I think they could probably like revert some changes. Maybe take away that 25, keep that 25 energy for the next team fight. Take that away, and they could probably do something like with Soldier nerf the. I wouldn't say her rail. I feel like her rail is like the skill shot that she needs, but maybe nerf the primary fire damage. Like they do the Soldier every like other season. The Soldier probably something like that.
So you're kind of like you kind of like her, but maybe a little less powerful.
little less powerful. I do think she is very, very, very. She's picked a lot. She's picked a lot.
Hmm. And you feel the pressure to play her a lot as well. Like you kind of have to pick her.
Yeah, I feel like there's either if I see a Roadhog, it's like when you see a Roadhog on the other team. I feel like you're pressured to play Ana because you want to hit them with that nades. That's the same thing with like Roadhog. He's just there. He's big. He's a big target. You can't miss him. Build a rail off of him, and then shoot someone that's in the backline that's really squishy, and then you basically just rinse and repeat. And I think that's what we were
Hi,
talking
Salamar.
about earlier. Is like it's getting stale because same thing, rinse and repeat. Go into a game. You're just basically put on like autopilot, farm the hog, farm the maga, rail someone else, and just keep doing the same thing.
Deku, is that how you feel as well? Have you felt like pressured to play Sojourn at all?
Yeah, if they go Roadhog or if they go Mauga or on the off chance right now they go Orisa, she's like, all right, I'm just gonna go to spawn, swap to Sojourn. I feel like Sojourn's never been a bad pick ever since Overwatch 2, right? She's never been bad. So maybe they could just like nerf the rail a little bit and focus more on her primary fire. Oh, sorry.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know, maybe something small, but she's definitely always been like a top pick every season. So she's really strong right now as well.
And again, like I'd ask you the same question: is that are you okay with that? Like fundamentally, if we say that like Sojourn will almost always be like a good pick potentially, is that something that upsets you, or are you okay with it?
I'm kind of okay with it because it's not a big deal. You can always go Sojourn yourself to deal with it, but I guess it could be annoying to other players. Or if you're not a hit scan player, it could be annoying as well.
Yeah, so the hit scan players maybe are fine with it, but we'll see how Spilo and Sam feel. Spilo, I'll go to you first. Sojourn, I'm sure you've just you're always seeing her at the pro level, but is that
Yeah.
okay?
Probably my second or third most coached character in the last 2 years because like every Diamond Plus player, Overwatch League, like constant, she just has like a really really high value ceiling. Like when you're good at Sojourn, it's like Tracer, you're gonna be able to do a lot with the character. And there's like one of the problems I think we haven't touched on yet is that like there's so many characters in the DPS cast that just don't really reward being that good at them. Like you could have the best Junkrat player in the world, and it's just like what is this guy Kea who's like middling low contenders, and the guy's insane at Junkrat, but there's just almost much you can do with it. Sojourn is like one of those characters, like if you're good, like the ceiling is limitless. You're as good as you are, right? With not just the rail, like I think even the slide, the disruptor shot, there's like a lot of things that you can do with the kit. So that's both a good and a bad thing. And I do think it's unfair to say, oh, Sojourn's perma meta, should nerf the crap out of the character. I mean, maybe, but that's the problem is that like she's not very good until you're really good, and then she's really really good, right? And I think we need more characters at that level. One criticism I have, and this is something I had literally since alpha, when they released Sojourn, the first feedback I had with the character is like, hey, I love this character, but we need to shift more value into the primary fire and away from rail. I 100% agree with Deku, because this character should be the vertical Soldier 76. It should be the verticality Soldier 76 with the burst of rail like Helix. We should tank the crap out of rail down to where it's like basically just a burst damage, but it's not anywhere close to a one shot. Like I'm talking like 150 with a headshot, right? And what you would do is you would need to reduce the delay from railing into shooting again, because the problem is the delay. You rail and you can't primary fire. So what you do is you almost completely remove that delay, so you could just shoot rail, 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 right? Then you can we can tweak this projectile speed, we can tweak how much damage, and it becomes like a much more like dynamic like Halo railgun getting in there. It's not like farm the enemy tank, find a squishy, farm the enemy tank. That gameplay loop is really boring. And I just think that they need to lean more into primary fire, and I've been saying this for literally 2.5 years, almost 2.5 years.
Sam, you so much humming and finger gunning that I feel like you don't have much
What
more
a-
to add than a big
What
yes.
did I say in season 2 SCB on the show? You remember when they changed? Do you remember the one change they did that I said was horrible? And I was really frustrated because she was underperforming at low ranks, which is why they gave her the 25 rail. They increased the spread, which hurts who?
Yes. Oh, dude, I remember that.
They
I was
increased
so mad.
the spread
was so
of the
bad. That
primary
was so
fire.
bad.
So
That
it's
was the worst.
so she can't like mid-range check squishies, which means the only option is to shoot the Roadhog. The way they tried to change her in season 2 was horrible. I stand by the Spilo. You're completely right. Tighten the spread. It's going to help more new players get into her because they're not hitting the railguns, guys. They're not. What they're doing is they're getting the primary fire. Tighten the spread, reduce the ceiling on the rail, good players will still get value with her. It'll help her a lot in the mid ranks, and it'll help rein in her ceiling too, and give her a ton more playstyle options. That is not, oh, I'm gonna farm the hog and shoot my rail, right? I think the way they changed her was really, because the first time they did it, it was like people were just, that it was season 2, and like I just stopped playing because it was all Widow, Sojourn, Hog, Orisa, and I was like, dude, I can't play this. Like I'm gonna go play Binding of Isaac or something, or Warzone or something else. So yeah, I would love to see them tighten that spread, revert the season 2 or 3 changes, reduce the cap on rail, and you can tweak numbers from there. That'll give her a ton more options. It'll help out new players get into her because she is fun. I mean, that's the kind of character that she's the kind of fun character that you want to introduce that has like a ton of like a really high ceiling, but she needs to be more accessible. And I think she needs a lower ceiling and be more accessible. And I think I think they just went the wrong direction with the character, like in season 2.
Primary Fire just feels so frustrating to use
I know.
sometimes. It feels like Ramatra's Primary Fire and Omnic. You're just like, what am I doing?
They did fix that too, though. That's what they kind of need to do to rail. And her, what are they called? The bullets she shoots? Do we?
I have no idea.
I
don't
just
even know what
call her
they're-
primary fire.
Yeah, question for you guys too. Did you guys flip flop? And for a tip for anybody getting to May as well, I felt way more comfortable on May when I flipped her icicles and her freeze, like the primary fire and secondary fire. So like I shoot with left click and I freeze with right click, and my aim got 10 times better. It happened with Sojourn too. Do you guys? How are your
flipped it.
keybind? You flipped it.
My rails left click and my primary fire is actually on my right click.
Same.
For some spicy, most Overwatch League players have it as neutral that I've worked with. Almost
Really?
all of them are all rail mouse too.
Interesting.
Really? Ooh.
May is the one hero where I actually keep it on the right click and I find it better on the right click. Like
Really?
Yeah, for May I
play
like
with
the
right
right
click.
click.
It's all
Yeah,
preference.
I'm not sure.
I challenge you guys to try it the other way around. You gotta adjust to the walls, but oh my god, it felt great.
Okay, interesting. Okay, well we're on the home stretch now, guys. We're in the last bars. We're in the last bar, so we're gonna talk now about Soldier 76. So again, I think this is like very tied into how we talk about, like, the hits can always kind of tie into each other, right? Because they're always competing with each other and they're always kind of dueling each other. So I think I'm gonna go to Jay first, because Jay, you actually mentioned Soldier. You're like, well, they kind of always change Soldier, always tweak him around like this. Do you think right now he's in a good position, or do you think maybe he needs some changes?
I think Soldier's in a good position. I feel like he's one of those characters that are always just consistent until they actually do change him and buff his damage, and then you're just like, why? And then they're just nerfing it in the future. In the future, I think Soldier's fine. He's very consistent. You know, when your healers are not healing, you play Soldier so you can run around and like drop your own heal pad. But
Jay says healing. He like does the nerd voice. Healing. You know, it's like immediately.
yo, why is Philo just rushing me?
Actually.
Listen, you need to show up to coach our fucking Overwatch team, bro. Listen, let's not go down that path.
What's up, Drizzy?
Okay,
No, but I
well,
think he's consistent.
you think he's consistent?
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't think he needs any changes. I do miss, and I will admit, I do miss hiding behind a corner when you know a tracer's coming and Helix meleeing.
Yeah,
I miss it, man. I miss it. But hey, you know what? It is what it is, bro.
Jay, it sounds like you don't like these season 9 health changes. You said you did it first, and then you've talked about like 4 breakpoints that you're like, damn, I missed this. Or bring it
I
back.
miss it. You know, 6v6. No, I'm joking.
You're so-
To be fair,
sorry.
I feel like we must contextualize. This is the man who wants 2 CP back. So I think you
Hey,
can just
Listen,
Hey, 2 CP is good, and they removed the player, so now you have one less player on the field. Would have been good.
Listen,
But you
I
want
was
66
neutral
back
at
too, so you're
2CP.
like bring back 66 and bring back 2 CP.
He's just here to like make us chaos. Jay just wants
Yeah,
chaos today. I like
Well,
it.
Jay's just
I
like,
it.
whatever was happening 3 years ago, let's just go back, and then 3 years from now he'll be like, yo, bring back the fucking season 9 health changes.
Overwatch 1? Like 66 now?
Exactly.
Ah,
Bring
you're,
back.
No.
you're such a troll, bro. You're such a troll.
Deku, how about you? Do you feel like Soldier's in a good place?
Yeah, he's alright. He's playable on most maps. I don't find any issues with him, and he seems like a pretty fair character to play against as well. Maybe just for the shits and giggles, maybe we could just take away the recoil that they added, just for fun. I don't know.
Reduce it.
Yeah,
that'd
or,
be cool.
or reduce it, just take it away, make it like how it was back then.
With Bloom. you
What,
mean?
like instead of going up, it's the bloom?
Yeah,
Really? I don't
maybe
know how I feel
just
about the
just to
bloom.
feel just for it to be different, just to throw some
feel like
spice
the-
in there.
Ooh. So go back to like Overwatch 1. No, my bad.
Yeah.
Nah.
Or that one
The
patch.
J3 solution. J3 solution.
No, I actually prefer the soldiers like aim now. I feel like it's more rewarding if you have good aim.
Fair
Where
enough,
do you
yeah.
see his niche, Deku? Like, where do you see Soldier 76 fitting in?
He's a really good flanker. I feel like his playstyle's better when you're flanking with him, other than when you're just frontlining. At least in Overwatch 2.
Hmm. You like that Soldier's just like 10 miles deep in the back line, just like never dies, runs
Yeah.
away, and just harasses in the back line.
Yeah, that's what's fun about him, I think. That he's able to do that.
Interesting. Okay, Spilo, is that how you would view Soldier 76?
Yeah. Yeah, I would say so. I think that like I'm looking at Overbuff right now. He's the second most picked DPS in all ranks, and he's also the
Wow.
second most picked DPS in Grandmaster. I think he's like benefited a lot from like I know we complain a lot about like oh we've lost the Ash break points and Hanzo doesn't have one shot and May Icicle and like you can't. But actually, Soldier's benefited a lot from these changes because if you think about like what Soldier historically struggled with, it's Hanzo right mid long range completely ruined him right.
Yeah.
He worried about Pharah 2-tap. He worried about Sojourn just ruined him. Even Ash, right, with a big problem, right, because you just basically get 1 or 2 tapped almost instantly. So now, like, he can kind of compete more in the mid to long range because if you get shot, you're not dead. Like, you can heal station and then re-peek, and then you got another opportunity. I think my one complaint with Soldier is I think this heal station is like such an awful archaic cooldown that didn't work in Overwatch 1 and really doesn't work in Overwatch 2. What is the cooldown now? Is it like 15 or
18,
18?
I think.
I mean, it's like absurd. I
Yeah,
think
they
need to
nerfed
do.
it.
Yeah, it's weird. I think they need to give him like a stim pack or something like that. You know that you can
The
use on the
stims.
move.
Oh my god, he stims himself.
Seriously,
is Call of
just
Duty.
Fucking StarCraft
yeah, like
Marine over here.
you could actually reduce the healing per second by a lot too. Like if you allow him to use it on the move, I think that would
Yeah.
be like way more viable. Like give him a lot more
That could
flexibility.
be
But
cool.
I think he's honestly fine.
That could be
How do
cool.
you heal your team though? You give your team like the stem?
You don't need to heal your team, bro. That's what you have
Oh,
healers
yes, you do.
for, Jay, right?
You know what's funny that you say that? I get most of my ult charge from healing my teammates because
You
my
do.
supports
Because you don't hit
are
your
not healing.
shots.
Whoa!
No, listen,
I do hit my
listen,
shots, sir. I'm
listen.
gold damage.
Listen. I'm just saying the big gag back in the spot. I know you know this joke because it was our East Coast gag. Is that we would say aimbot and FPS is OP in like prime goats
Yeah.
meta, and then we would pop a soldier biofield down and get visor like instantly. It was so much fun doing that. It is good. It actually is good.
You
It
can
actually is.
nade and then healing station as well. This all
Drop
looks
it to
so
grab when you're grabbed. It's budget
Yeah,
trank.
yeah.
I'm telling you, budget trank. It was
Yeah.
good.
The Soldier healing station on a nade. That's it. You're just.
It was
you gotta
good. It was
trank. You
actually
gotta
good. It was
trank.
budget trank.
How do you
Revisor
feel about
too.
Soldier right now, though?
I think
Sam?
he's right where he needs to be. I think he's a great entry character to the game. He was my first hero I played when I played Overwatch. Volskaya Industries, I'll never forget it. I was sitting, Jay, you might be right about 2CP. I was never a 2CP hater. Volskaya was like my best map on Hanzo. And Anubis, like, come on, Doomfist, Junkrat, that's my hero pool. But I remember like being on the top mid platform on Volskaya first defense, popping visor, like 5K'ing because nobody like hid in the noob lobbies from visor. I was like, this character's OP because it's aimbot and FPS. And that's actually, I just started grinding Overwatch after that. But I think he's right where he needs to be.
One compliment, I really like the ult change they did too. Like that's
Oh,
to me,
yeah.
it's like
Oh, hitting
that's free
headshots?
value. If you hit the headshots,
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
I
no, it
love
should
that.
do that.
Like, I love that.
It should do that. Yeah, good. I think he's in a great spot.
Nice. Okay, awesome. Well, we can swiftly move on then, I think, to Sombra, which is, again, I think a hero. I know Sam and Spilo, you guys have both talked about her a fair amount. So I'm going to take it again to Deku first. Deku, how do you feel about Sombra?
I feel like she's alright. She's not too powerful or too weak. You can easily, counter her if you just play smart. But yeah, I mean, I don't play her at all either. She's kind of good at countering Doomfist and Ball, so if I have a Sombra on my team and while I'm playing against Doomfist and Ball, I'm all for it. But yeah, as a hit scan player, you don't really have like too much trouble with Sombra, I would say. That's probably like more like if you play Genji, if you play like niche heroes like that you have issues with Sombra. But I think she's all overall good. Not too OP, not too weak. She's good right now.
This is sad because I just got a raid from Fitzy, and so I asked him, "Yo, how do you feel about Sombra?" And he says, "Haven't played enough recently." So unfortunately,
Oof.
we won't get a verdict from Fitzy here. But what about Spilo? Your verdict? Where's your you've been a big fan of the Sombra rework, haven't you?
Yes and no. I think it's a lot like the Pharah thing, where it's like it's going to be like a 3 or 4 step process if we're being honest. If she's ever going to get the decision or the attention that she needs, I think the big problem with Sombra is that like you have a utility character that people love to use that word, but then I ask them, like, what utility does Sombra have? and they state things that everybody hates.
Yo,
like hack and
Sakuna, I already
permastealth, and
watched the
all right, well,
entire Quarry
we need to figure out
playthrough
like
when
what
Saul
kind of
played
utility
it,
does
so
someone
I
have.
don't want to
I
play
think
that
the
game.
first thing you need to find out is like, what does this character's identity need to be, and then probably the first thing that needs to go is permastealth, because then once you deal with permastealth, you
So I already know what
you
happens and
reintroduce
everything.
risk into the equation and counterplay into the equation for the defenders.
And it was
then
boring,
you can
yeah.
allow her to be a more effective assassin, a more effective short to mid range character. Because the problem is like you could tweak virus and damage and hack till the cows come home, but when she's allowed to cheat the rules of the game and stage for free with no limits, then it's like, how do you balance that, right? Like either she's way too effective of a spawn camp or way too effective of assassin, or
More
she's way too weak
kitten.
because she can literally go for any
Just
target
wait till
she
you drop
wants.
from
So,
Diamond.
I think just
The kitten will
start with
come out.
permastealth. Start maybe with how effectively she can consistently hack. I do think like a lot of the EMP changes, I would prefer to have more of her kit shifted away from EMP and more into her neutral. But it's a big topic, and I think just to keep things short, I think start with permastealth.
Jay, how do you feel about that?
Well, how I feel about Sombra is I think the health changes actually made Sombra a lot more viable. As of right now, I don't see a lot of Sombras. I do think they kind of like botched her when they changed her EMP. It does like what 30% now instead of 40 or even 50%. I feel like they can do some of what like Spilo said. I don't think I don't see a lot of them. Even the counter ball, like Deku was saying, I don't even go Sombra. I go Cass at this point.
And I think that's probably where Quake Dawn's hatred came for Cassidy, because like in many ways he's like the more effective counter because he counters but also does other things. Whereas the Sombra pick into the ball Doomfist is kind of like I only do that. Like that's the only thing I do. Whereas the Cassidy is the more viable pick all around.
Yeah.
Sam?
I think Sombra's my main hero from season 8 on. I think she's my main right now. I have the most hours on new Sombra. There's no Sombra players. Like that's what I was saying. Like I'm like the only person that I've seen that like consistently plays her. I love playing her. She's actually one of my favorite heroes to play. She is the assassin. I think she's criminally underrated because no one sat down and learned her. And like like
Really?
she's good. She's really good, but you have to have a mastery of spacing in order to do it. Right? Like
Yeah,
you
we
need
already
to
did venture.
understand perfectly. Okay, my transload needs to go up. Like vertical
Sombra,
translocators are
Nexus
just so good
Symmetra,
to get in and out of stealth and
Probe
like be able to
Tracer, and then
drop in
Widow,
and
yeah.
out. Hack Virus, insanely strong. I think I hit like rank 20 on Sombra, like one tricking her basically. Like I think
You and
season
Yeetle were popping off.
yeah, we were the only people playing her because no one sat down and this is where Spilo, I kind of want to add on. I think she kind of is more of a projectile character now because she's all of. If you can't hit your viruses, you should not be playing her. You don't do enough damage. The kill combo, what really makes her viable and what doesn't is, again, you can't kill the tank. Hacking tank, not good unless it's a diva that you can quickly blow up. The question is, what supports are they on and what DPS are they on? And if there's a matchup that your hack virus combo is good versus, you can play her. If they go Bapalari or Bap Brig or Kiri Brat Bap or something like that, it's much harder to play her. But they play Lucio. If they play Ana and you have a single target or a single matchup that you can stage for free with, Spilo, and permanently farm, she's very, very good. If that matchup is not there, she's unpickable. And that's kind of what I learned from playing her. But I'd have to pull up my Sombra stats. She's definitely like my main character that I've been playing. And she is very, very good. EMP post 2.5 second lockout time is significantly better. But yeah, I would say that she is very, very slept on right now. And I do agree that permastealth probably should go away. But if permastealth goes away, then they can afford to put more power into her kit. But I will say this, be very, very careful. She is very slept on right now. She is much better than people think she is, especially when she gets the opportune matchup. It's just when she doesn't get the opportune matchup, she's just unpickable. And that's where she does tend to fall off. But I think she's very, very fun. And I love the rework. I love the skill shot. And Hack Virus is better. I don't care what anybody tells you, especially with higher health pools. You got to get that extra damage that Hack does onto in terms of burst. And it is worth doing that. So also
I
aim
like
for the feet.
Yeah, I like the translocator thing. Like it does feel like the risk is just, I cannot emphasize like how much, maybe it's just me, but risk just makes the game so much more fun to play.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean,
Translocator's kind of still buggy, but it just feels good.
Yeah, we talked about the screen lock. We were also blessed to have.
Oh,
Ruben
they
now
need to
as well,
disable
the-
that. Yeah, sorry. go
Yeah,
ahead.
yeah. No, we kind of we did mention. I was gonna say we've got Ruben in chat as well. So Ruben Sargon says, I think Sombra is all right now, but a lot of people think she sucks. So I think that
She
That
doesn't.
probably
suck, yeah.
echoes your sentiments, and that I
Yeah.
think it's a bit underrated. So
And a reminder to everybody at home. The reason why Sombra sucks for most of you, go into your hero settings. I don't know why they did this, but you must have disable translocator camera lock set to on because it turns off the force screen lock when you throw your translocator so you can look around the map and already be going the direction you're looking. It is, I cannot stress how important that is. Also for Echo, hold for flight must be on so that you can get more of the flight boost tech. So just remember that one at home if you guys even want to try to play the character.
nice. Okay, awesome. Let's move on to Symmetra then.
Gotta
Another
let
hero
Jay
that
go.
another thing that I think a lot of you guys mentioned already, but J3 apparently, do you have some thought? You've become some of a villain in the Symmetra community recently. Do you want to cement your villain status, or do you want to start the redemption arc?
Oh no, no redemption. F sim players, bro. I said it. I'm gonna be honest with you. Keep that character dead. That character should not be alive. I would prefer Junkrat players to be all over the game. Symmetra is only useful to TP your team at a spawn. I do think Sim is actually really good when you have a very vocal team, though, and your teammates are actually in the group chat, and you're like, doing TP plays with your team going around the map. But other than that, nah, Sim could be dead to me, and I'll be happy.
What is it about Symmetra that frustrates you so?
The players that play Symmetra, they hate me. I'll see that one on Reddit. Can't wait. Nah,
Okay.
I just hate everything about that character. She doesn't seem like a very fun character to play.
And presumably you don't enjoy going up against Symmetras.
It's not Symmetras that I don't feel like going that are a problem to go against. I just feel like there's other better characters that you could play, basically.
Oh, you actually dislike them on your team.
I just prefer any team. There's no Symmetra. If there's a Symmetra on my team, really, I will say some Symmetra players that I like are the very vocal ones. That all the teams in the voice chat and we're doing TPs like I said around the map. Like, hey, we're gonna go over here. We're gonna flank the other team. That's actually really fun. But most of the time, you're playing ranked. The Symmetra players or like a lot of your teammates are just not talking. Put a TP down. No one knows. TP dies, and everyone's just not on the same page.
Okay, so just a general hatred for Symmetra. I got it. Okay. Deku, how about you? You got that general hatred for Symmetra?
Yeah, I'm gonna lump Symmetra in with Junkrat. Maybe it's due to the fact that, like, anytime I play against a sim, it's always on, like, Control Center. Or, like, a tight map where it's, like, really annoying to play against Symmetra. And it's, like, the only time I see her, so, like, it's just branded in my head, oh, I have to play against Symmetra on this map. But yeah, as long as, Sim is only used to be TP'd out of spawn, then I'm okay with it too. I, they could just, kill that
That's what
character
I
in the
like to
lore.
hear.
Is there a version of Symmetra that's kind of got you happier? Because they've tried a few different iterations. Right? They've tried a few different versions of Symmetra, and none of them are really stuck. Is there like a way that she plays that you prefer?
Not really. I don't play her myself, and anytime I've played against a sim, they usually always lose unless it's like in like Lijiang Tower map or whatever. Like, I don't think she's like super strong or anything. If anything, she's just more annoying to deal with. Like, why did they buff the TP health anyway? Like, I'm just sitting there shooting the damn TP. Like, I don't know. I just feel like the character's boring to play against, boring to have on your team too.
Jay, anything else you want to add on this before we move on to Spilo and Sam?
You
Salt
said
us.
I think the one time I actually liked Symmetra, and this is kind of like weird, but when she had the shield generator
I
and
knew you
whatnot,
were gonna say that.
bro.
Oh my
So,
I think it
why
was
are you just such a fucking meme? You're a stereotype of yourself.
no the sim dude. I thought it was fun, bro. I
Jay, you
like it,
say
bro.
that.
Should I bring back like her old Sigma shield that she used to have? You guys remember that? She used to have a shield that
Yes.
she could put
Yeah.
go out.
That would solve your problem with the hero's ability to close the distance. But no, but no, I don't.
I think
God,
that
Jay,
was the shortest version of Symmetra. Like, I don't think that version
yeah,
lasted very long. I think they changed that
yeah.
pretty quickly. The original version was the auto lock on Symmetra being
Auto
with
lock 6
the
turrets,
shield,
yeah.
the shield
Mangachu,
that you could give to
connoisseur
your
of that.
teammates.
Shout out Mangachu.
I
did
think she
what?
might have been the most hated character in Overwatch at that point in time. Maybe
Oh,
she
That's,
oh yeah.
hey, that should stay like that.
That's
Consistent.
yes.
Jay's like, yeah, bring it back. Bring that back.
bring that
He's like
Symmetra
real
back.
Kind of
hated.
is. It kind of is. I think Sim's just kind of corny, man. I wouldn't change anything about her. I think there's bigger fish to fry. I think she should be niche. She always should be niche. You know.
So,
what it
Spilo,
is.
you concur with that?
Oh, I'm gonna cook just a little bit. I'll be fast, I promise.
Okay, yeah,
So
go ahead.
the
Quick
problem is
cook.
Sim. All right. So I think Sim should get her 2-shot back, but I think you should shrink the orb's size significantly. I think it should be like I actually think that the whole identity of like being able to like take your angles and flanks and like use your double shot right click. Like I actually think that this is like I think Sim's a lot healthier than she used to be, and I think they should lean into that more. They just need to make the orbs harder to hit. I think the other problem as well is her beam like is a really ugly identity problem right now because I've got the wiki pulled up. I actually didn't know it was this bad. Do you guys know what the tier 1 beam does damage per second right now? I bet you
50.
guys won't never guess. I bet you guys won't.
60?
It's 60. It's 60. So if I look at like yeah, the SCP is right.
Get a lottery ticket too after this.
Guys, where's the it does the same damage as Moira, and yet actually requires aim. The problem with that is that can you guys guess what tier 3 beam does?
180.
180 damage per second. And that's a major problem because what ends up happening is if you get the capability to focus tank or focus the shield, the beam becomes like absurd. But getting to that point is the hard part. She doesn't have the HP. She doesn't have the time to do it. I think here's what I would say. Give her a 2-shot back. Reduce the teleporter HP. I agree with Deku. It's ridiculous how much HP that thing has so that she can make solo plays. I actually would also say that I don't think she needs 3 turrets. I think 2 is fine. I think for the scouting and the combos, whatever you need, you don't need 3. And then finally, I think that you need to buff the primary fire on her beam to be like 70, something like that. And it needs to, 180 may be a little too high, and it needs to scale faster. So that the problem with the primary fire is it's unusable in a squishy 1v1, almost unusable in a squishy 1v1. Because by the time it should be an effective weapon in close range if you can track that accurately, but it's not. Because by the time that you actually get to tier 2 or tier 3, you're already dead or the fight's over.
If you go to 2 turrets, I think you're gonna have to buff the damage though, and then as well.
I don't
like,
think so. Because
Really?
these are all buffed. Because these are all buffs if you think about it, right? Like even if you nerf
Well, let's
projectile
let
speed,
Jay finish his thought. Why do you
Yeah,
Oh,
go
I was
ahead.
just gonna say, I do think I think it would be beneficial to her if you do maybe bring that 2-shot back, maybe, and also reduce the size because the size right now is huge, even especially with the projectile and hit scan changes.
Yeah. I think her being like a semi like strategic solo / team oriented flanker where like you can do the secondary fire at like mid to long ranges, but you have to aim really well. And in the primary fire, if you can track really well, you're actually rewarded for it. I think that that's the problem. I think the character is honestly fine behind that. Maybe you could even remove like the healing on doing damage to shield, like the shield generation. Like you could tweak that more. The only thing that I don't have an answer for is the ultimate. I think the ultimate's like pretty rough. Like it's really strong. It's not a very frustrating ultimate. It doesn't feel that great.
Doesn't look very great though. That's always the one that gets
No.
banded out when people want to say, look at how bad Overwatch is visually. Okay,
But I
there's
think,
some good-
long story short, I think there's options with Sim. I don't think she's as bad. Like there is like playmaking potential available there. Like, but yeah.
Okay, well let's go on then, because again, just in the interest of time, 3 heroes left, guys. We're moving on to Torbjorn. How do we feel about Papa Lindholm? I'll go to Sam first. Sam, Torbjorn.
He was the biggest sleeper in the DPS role until Farah got reworked, and she's really good. I think Farah hard checks him, but don't change him. Like his shotgun, he has been better Reaper. He really is better Reaper because he was, again, like he had the range options, the turret to set up, as well as the shotgun up close. I think he's really good. I would not touch him at all. I think his rework was one of the better ones they ever did. I think Farah is just checking him right now. Farah just hard checks him. So I think when Farah stonks go down, Torbjorn is right back up in like A tier, I'd say, but he's probably B tier right now.
Okay, Jay's nodding. Jay, you concur?
I like that. I think Torb is good right now, dude. There was a game mode. I don't know what they did. I think it was the most recent one. Dude, it would be a cool idea to see Torbjorn's turret stick on walls and ceilings and stuff. I think that was a cool change.
That could
That was
be
April
pretty
Fools,
flexible.
wasn't it?
And they did
or
reduce the
maybe-
health on it too.
Yeah, maybe like even change the health. If they do that, maybe nerf the damage a little bit, but like, or I don't know. We'll see.
Bronze players would hate that.
I mean, they have a hard time hitting the turret when
I
it stood
know,
still.
I know,
so
I know, I
let-
know.
when it's attached to a teammate like it was an April Fool's, that shit goes crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. I think Frida, if he was here, would have probably been spreading some hate on Torbjorn. But Deku, how do you feel? You're kind of happy with Torbjorn?
Yeah, I think he's alright. Like how Sam said, Farah's just keeping him in check most of the time. If someone goes Torb, you can just go Farah to quickly counter it. But other than that, he's pretty good. He can get up in your face and like do a lot of damage. He is better Reaper, like you said, so I think he's alright. He does not need any changes or anything.
The turret, you're fine with it. Like that's usually where people's frustrations lie, and especially in the middle ranks. It's just like the turret, just too much free
I
value. You're okay
mean,
with it?
the turret's fine. You could just shoot it. It's not that hard, but I think he's fine where he is. I don't think there's any changes needed for Torb right now, currently.
Spilo, you're happy with Torb?
No. No, I think that like his identity as a builder is like kind of failed. I would love to see them give him more variety of like turrets and different utility turrets, and I'd like them to have them actually have a timer. Like they only last for a
Sakuna,
certain
it's a
period of time,
laptop. If I
where they
unplug
could
it,
be
it's gonna
extra
stay
effective, but
on
like
for
that
a couple
introduces some
hours.
cooldown management. The turret is either completely useless or like really annoying if you're in lower ranks. I think that he just like lacks. He doesn't really have a good gameplay cycle. It's basically just throw your turret on an angle where you can't be shot, and then spam down main and generally pretty much tank bust. I don't even like his matchups versus most of the DPS or support cast. We did a whole like counter videos, like what count, dude. Torbjorn counters is countered by like 2/3 of the DPS cast. Freaking Ashe, Cassidy, Echo, Genji, Hanzo, Pharah, Sojourn, Soldier, Widowmaker. Like there's so many characters that have like really good matchups as Torb, and it just basically becomes like it's like a skill check for like so many of those matchups. So I don't know. We don't have to go into it much more, but I think that like having some sort of like more of choice with what he could do with like the builder dynamic would be interesting. We even had like an idea of like giving him like a hammer flip, like leaning more into his whole like hammer identity, like doing something fun with that. But like I don't find him very interesting to play versus or as.
I mean, definitely worth. I think there's really interesting ideas. There's lots of food for thought, and I think probably just not on their high priority list. They're probably not like
Yeah.
because he's not overly problematic. So I don't think they think
Yeah.
that like, oh, we need to start thinking about what his turrets can do. But those are really fun ideas. Maybe something to explore in one of these mirror watch type situations, or a quick play hack or April Fool's something, just to see, yeah, some different ideas for utility. Okay, let's talk about Tracer then, second last hero, and one that I'm sure there should be lots of discussion on. I will have to take it to J3 first. I will make no jokes about you whiffing pulse bombs because I'm sure you get plenty of them. So Jay, unironically, how do you feel about Tracer?
I think Tracer is one of the strongest characters right now, especially with the DPS passive that we were just talking about. You know, spray 20%. She's very high mobility. I feel like she was played a lot, and even in the OWCS, if I'm not mistaken. Oh no, I think she's played a few times. I think Cassidy and Sojourn, and there's a lot more. But I do think she's really good as of right now. I don't know if she needs any changes. I feel like if you change anything about her, she's gonna become like horrible. So no, wait, Chaser's underpowered. Give her 20 buffs, please, and thank you. No, see, my chat is okay. Never mind. No, I think she's good right now, though. Really.
Yeah, I guess there hasn't been any significant change since Overwatch 1 that you can suggest we go back to, so you're pretty happy generally.
Oh, if you want to do that, bring back Pulse Bomb to like 400 damage.
No.
It should be 500 damage now. You know why? Because if you are nanoed as a Soldier 76 and you are visoring and a Tracer was able to get close enough to you to Pulse Bomb you, you should be able to die from that.
And Cassidy just does that. Fucker does not die to a pulse bomb. That guy just
He just
shrugs
rolls
everything
it.
off.
He just rolls it, yeah.
He
Which is
shrugs
kind of
everything
crazy
off.
if you think about it.
I'd love the lore explanation for why his roll just suddenly makes him immortal. Like, what's like apparently when he stood standing still, like he's fine, but like when you're rolling, he's a fucking beast.
Yeah.
Deku, I think Jay alluded to something there, which is like Trace is always on this like razor's edge of balance, and she's like just very close to taking over, very close to just almost being unplayable, especially if you're not really good at her. Where do you see her right now? You kind of okay with her or not?
I think she's really good, but I think it's fine because she's hard to play. But I mean overall, I think if you're a really good tracer, you almost rarely ever die and you're always pushing out a lot of damage. So I think she's just perfect right now in a good spot, and the DPS passive is she's one of the people that's benefiting the most from the DPS passage for sure. I wouldn't mind if they made her pulse bomb do more damage though. That'd be cool.
Really.
I miss Overwatch 1.
That could be the summary of this side of the call. Sam, you would you support the pulse bomb buff?
I think if Pulse Bomb gets buffed, you open a can of worms of a lot of other ults should be buffed first. I think Tracer's mid fight is so good that it's hard to say that her ult should get buffed, honestly. I understand why people would want it, especially with tanks being so damn tanky now. Like, pulsing a tank used to be super, super valuable. It just doesn't matter anymore. I think she's fine though. I wouldn't. I think there's bigger fish to fry. There's lower hanging fruit. But I think the game is better when Tracer is getting played because whenever Tracer is just unpickable, that means it's like season 7, where it's just like Lifeweaver, Alari, Bap, Sig, Poke the whole time on like every map, and that just sucks. So I think Tracer being played is always fun for the game because she's pretty neutral in most of the matchups, and that's just what's fun. It's like when you have the choice to decide the duel, like the we talked about like in Overwatch 1, like the old cast stun where as Genji, the deflect into that matchup or like blinking around him, like that's those kind of mind game matchups, which is what Tracer's entire kit is what makes this game fun. So I think she's fine. Honest, Dante style.
Honest,
That's the
hero.
most Dante thing
Honest.
ever.
Yeah, honest. Spilo, you kind of I think Tracer here falling in the same category the Genji that Samito said, where it's like like
Yep.
if this hero's good, like game is fun. Do you concur?
Yep. Yeah, I agree. I think people complain always when something's permameta, but at the same time, a lot of the people that are complaining about permameta are the ones that are playing in the higher levels. Where again, we have the Sojourn problem with like Tracer just has the value ceiling that like if you're really good at the game, you could be really good at Tracer. So it's like you're gonna see higher skill characters in higher ranks. Shocker. That's how it should be. We should be seeing Malga and Roadhog. We should be Winston and Diva and Tracer and Sojourn and so on. And I think that's not a problem. That's how the game should be, and we should try to get more characters to that level. The only thing I'd say with Tracers is like the Pulse Bomb thing. I think Pulse Bomb's actually okay. You guys, remember the season 10 armor changes buffed Pulse Bomb by a lot on tanks because the armor only reduces 5 damage on Pulse Bomb. It's not a 30% damage reduction anymore, so it's actually fairly significant now. But yeah, I wouldn't change anything with Tracer. I'd just leave her as is. Don't touch her.
Okay, I'll take that as a good conclusion to bring us over to Widowmaker, our last hero, and I think we have to go to our resident Widow expert here first, Deku. Widowmaker, good, happy, not happy?
I mean, she's alright. I don't really one trick her or anything. I just play her on the good Widow maps or whatever. I think she's in a fine spot. She she has her one shot, but it's a skill shot, so it's alright. The thing is though, like, I don't know why, but like anytime there's like cheaters on, they're always on that character, and it's never on an actual Widow map. So that's where like I get annoyed about Widow when there's cheaters. But other than that, I think Widow's fine in and on itself. I don't. Okay, reduce the mine cooldown maybe. That's the only complaint I have.
You just feel like it's not up enough to kind of deal with the flankers that are coming for you?
I just feel like it's really long for no reason. Like it takes forever. I'm like waiting on it. I'm like, all right, I should have it by now. I check. Oh, still more 5 seconds left. Okay. So, and it's like really easy to break. You can see it. It glows. It's not impossible to kill, and it doesn't do a lot of damage or anything. I think it's maybe one thing you can change about her, but that's about it.
Jay, you're giggling over there. What's got you chuckling?
Because I'm looking at Sam. Let Sam go.
All right, Samito.
He's about to go on the Twitter rant.
Here we go.
Widowmaker is the most broken DPS in this damn game. Actual cheat code hero. The stupidest, dumbest proof of hit scan bias I have ever seen in this damn game. Truly unanswerable. Like, it baffles me that this hero has not been touched yet, but I get why, because you're kind of stuck if you're Blizzard. It pisses me off so much. Widow is the only hero in this game where you can have a kid going 10 and 10, 1-for-1, and still be holding the lobby hostage. It is absurd. It is actually absurd how freaking awful this hero is to play against. Because, and here's the reason why, and it really sucks, because like they've put themselves, I'm going to quote Jay, they put themselves in a bit of a hole here, right? Because she's only good on her maps. but I've had people force her in a lot of different ways. You go dive against her, and then they just pick like Kiri, Weaver, like things that is auto deny dive. So like you can't stay in on the dive and dive for like 2 consistently unless you have a ton of setup. Like I've never seen a hero in this game in the DPS role. Brig kind of did it in Overwatch 1, where they just hold the lobby hostage and change how the entire game is played just by picking them. It is the least amount of fun I think I've ever had playing Overwatch. It just sucks. But the problem is, what do you do with the character to make sure that they can still be played, but also maintain their identity? And so I want to give some suggestions out there before I just go off on what. Seriously though, like I really mean this. Like there is no other hero in the game where somebody can be 10 and 10 and holding the entire game hostage. It's crazy. It's crazy. But you don't want to gut it either. So if you look at other FPS games, the sniper heroes that have one shots either have horrible fire rates, no close range options, or limited mobility. As much as I hate Widow, God, it's gonna make me so mad to say this. I would unironically change the grapple first so it can be interrupted, just something to make her actually, if she's gonna have the one shot, because there's no way we get to complain about Junkrat one shot on this podcast. There's no way we get to complain about, what was the other one we complained about? There were 2 that we said were really
Maybe
dumb today.
Farah?
Hanzo?
Or I think Conk maybe. Hanzo.
Farcock, something, right? Like, we can't complain about Junkrat's one shot and not address the elephant in the room that is Widowmaker as well. Because the best way to counter a Widow is to pick Widow. Undoubtedly. The easiest way to do it. And honestly, I don't know how to fix it. I wish I had an answer. I don't. All I know is that it sucks. It's worse than Junkrat because, again, like, I insta-peek a corner, gone. What am I supposed to do to that? Not peek the corner? Okay, not play the game? I'll just sit in my spawn AFK. That's what I've started to do. I'll just AFK. She's an actual cheat code hero, and I don't know how to fix it. I don't. I wish I did. I don't. I think she rewards so much for what she requires, and there's a reason why all the cheaters can pick the characters and instantly get a ton of value. It's because it just rewards so much for like the simplest things. But you don't want to get rid of it either because like snipers and FPS games are what like sniping and FPS games are so much fun. Whether it be Warzone, whether it be I guess the op and CS. Like I'm not sure if Valorant has a sniper or not. Like
Yeah,
that's
but
like that is a really rich identity
Valorant
that
does.
is super fun. But holy shit, there's just like there's so much that goes into it in Overwatch where it's like, okay, you want to make it diveable, and then okay, Kiri exists, Weaver exists, Alari Pylon's there. Like if I go Sombra, they have Alari Widow, I have to break the pylon first because Spylo, there should not be a turret in this game that lasts forever. There's not one. There should not be one that like actually it just. I'm gonna let everybody else go.
All right, yeah. Before I go to Jay and Spile, I want to give Deku the chance to answer these accusations that have been labeled the way of players like herself. Deku, what is your response to what Samito has just said?
I mean, I get it. It is frustrating playing as a character that can one-shot you across the map. I don't have an answer though for fixing it, cause like it's Widowmaker, it's a sniper. How are you gonna fix that? It needs to like maybe make the head hitbox even smaller, but to make it even more of a skill shot. But I don't know. I mean,
Yeah, I don't.
I love Widowmaker,
I-
so
It's only at the ceiling too is the hard part. It's only
Yeah.
at the ceiling. It's like most players won't deal with that, but once you get there, it's the same thing with DPS Doomfist, where like DPS Doom, 95% of players just went straight down mid. But once you hit his ceiling and you're able to go in and do what you could do with Doom, it was miserable to play against. And I understand why people hated it so much, but that's why I loved it because it was Xi's answer to like Xi's backline comp. So like I see why people would like it. I have no answer either. So it's just I don't know what to do. I really don't.
All right. Well, J3, has this satisfied your anticipation of seeing Samito go off
Oh
there?
man, I think that was the best thing I've ever seen in a while. I'm gonna be honest with you. I do think I could see what Samito's saying. I do think when you're playing Widowmaker and you are hitting your shots, you are playing server admin. And I'm thinking about ways how to fix Widowmaker, but I can't think of one because I played Fortnite back then just to play it and fuck around. They nerfed snipers in that game so they wouldn't one shot, and it was fucking stupid. It was hell.
It's bad in
And
Warzone
and
too when they do that.
yeah, and then they also did something similar in Apex where it's the Kraber. The Kraber can still one shot unless you have like a level 3 helmet or higher, and that combats the one shot, but you still get left with like a little bit of health. So I actually don't know. It's very interesting that you said with the grapple. As soon as you take like a little bit of damage, maybe your grapple fails. Maybe you take away some of her close quarter combat, maybe. So if you do break in close, she can't do anything. So that would be very interesting to see if. But I actually don't know how they would do anything to nerf Widow.
Spilo, can I
And
bounce an idea off you?
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Sam.
So sorry to interrupt you, SVB. Okay, what if this happened? One, I've always said this: the way to approach Widow is indirectly. It has to be indirectly because you can't like. It's when heroes like Genji are suffering and different things are suffering, and again, sustain becomes so good that you can't challenge her that things get tough. I think that grapple, if you start taking damage or something, you should not be able to grapple. If you're going to commit to a spot on Widow, you shouldn't just be able to take the angles for free. Like, you should have to really think about your positioning. I think the grapple change could be a good one. I'm okay with Venom Mine coming way lower because that is a skill check for flankers. Like, you can break the Venom Mine. There's things that you can interact with that. It's like, I think the big frustration that comes from Widow for me is my inability to do anything, especially with how easy it is to apply invulnerabilities and healing on support. Whether it be the hardest is when they have a Lari and they have the third support up permanently. I think making Pylon not be permanent is a really, really easy thing to do. I don't know, Spot. I'll toss it to you because this is going to go on for a long time. I don't want to. We've been on here for a while. I don't want to rant about it forever. But my thing is, like, there needs, like, indirect value is how you need to cut off Widow, and it's so frustrating to play against.
It feels like the Hanzo thing just needs to decide like what direction we go with the character. We're going to maintain like the super static high risk high reward identity, where like you said, you get really punished if you get caught with your pants down. Problem with that obviously is that's going to limit like the number of situations where she's viable even more than she already
Yeah.
is,
Yeah.
without necessarily addressing the problem initially. I think that like indirectly maybe I agree that she's probably the most difficult to balance character maybe in the entire cast, even harder than like a Roadhog. I think like I don't know what you can do with her. I can see the appeal. It's fun when you pop off, but it is definitely server admin. Maybe just a thought here. I haven't thought enough about it, but maybe something like having a way that it's just how her charge rate on her fire works. So like at front, like it actually takes let's say 4 seconds or 5 seconds to fully charge a shot. But the first second or two gets you to like 60-70%.
They reversed that for Widow, by the way, Temper. Widow's
charge a one shot
headshot
charge for 4 or 5
hitbox
seconds.
thing isn't
So what
big
this means is
like
that
everyone
she's able
else's.
to consistently do competitive damage. Maybe even the scoping animation is faster,
It's
right?
it's not
But
as
you're
big
not
as,
able to consistently
other
get
hit
one
scans.
shot. Like you actually have to fully commit to that one shot, and then there's a window of vulnerability for 5 or 6 seconds before you're able to actually fully get the one shot again. I have no idea. I'm just throwing crap out of the thing in the last few minutes, but you do have to. It's ugly. This character is maybe the ugliest character in the entire Overwatch cast, and when it comes to like
Reminds
what
me
do
of
you do?
TF2. The longer you, I mean, the sniper scope, the longer you stay scoped, the more damage you do. But I mean,
Right,
I don't
but
know. Aren't you gonna play Call of Duty at that point, just holding one angle?
Well, it would only be for the first shot. What I'm saying is then you
Mhm.
reposition, and then now you can still do competitive damage. You charge up that first 150 damage, 175 damage quickly. Almost makes it like an Ash at that point, like where you scope and scope and you scope and you just quick shoot. But yeah, like I don't think there is an easy answer.
Any
Very
other
interesting.
thoughts on Widow before we move to concluding thoughts? Any other things you want to float?
I mean, I can make Samito mad. Go back to 6v6 so you have 2 tanks dealing with Widow.
That actually
Problem
is
is,
the
is
answer.
you have two
That actually
tanks. You have
helps.
two tanks, but I do think it cuts both ways though, because then you have you cut off a lot of the angles that that flankers cannot. Like one of the answers.
It was
to
right
Widow
after
now is
they
you can
changed the
actually legit,
hitboxes,
pure
like a week
Moira
after
on a flank.
or something like
You
that.
know,
They
you can
reverted
full on
hers.
Reddit Lucio
Yeah, that
cast.
Made
doesn't
her
happen
smaller.
often though. That doesn't happen often. That favors her.
Yeah,
It was like a mini patch.
I would say that I've seen fewer situations in which Widow has been a viable character at the highest level since Overwatch 2. I don't know if that's
In
that's
scrims
not,
and ranked though, in ranked I think it's even easier. It's just so easy for people to pick Widow and just get value in ranked. It's so easy.
fair enough.
Well, I
It
think
was the same with
Widowmaker,
Hanzo too.
Widowmaker will always be one of those heroes. No, she just will always be one of those heroes that kind of has this because, as you guys have already alluded to, there's just such a boomer bust with her. Like you can just destroy the lobby, but also it is a skillful hero. We do want to reward that. And then how do you change the?
And that's a red
do
temper.
you do want the sniper to have a one
It's
shot?
not
and
really
have
noticeable,
the reward for
TBH.
hitting the shot. So
I
a
think
tough
the
one for the devs
easiest
to
is
balance.
grapple. It has to be grapple. It just has to be grapple if you're going to touch her directly. That's it. Just don't let her get away for free if she's being dove and make the supports peel her. I don't know. Too hard.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you guys have been with me for a long one. This has been we a lot of DPS to get into, so I appreciate you guys going through all of it. We'll just go last minute concluding thoughts. I'll ask you guys one simple question. What is the most pressing thing you think they need to do in terms of helping DPS? Like, what is the thing that, like, if you were like, this is what I would like to see as a DPS representative, this is what will make the game more fun, less stale, or maybe just, buff my character, whatever it is that you want. I'll go to Spilo first. Spilo, what is the one thing that DPS would benefit from the most?
I think individual attention with the kits that need addressing. I think what we did today is like something that I'm sure the Blizzard team is doing it, but I just want to see them continue to do it. Like discussions about Hanzo and Main, just never in a vacuum. I think DPS is fine overall. Would just like to see some tweaks for each individual character based off of what they need.
Nice, I like that. Sam?
I think they need to find a way to create more options for DPS. I hate to say 6v6, but I know the answer is not a raid boss tank. I would be interested. I would be intrigued to see them try making things less tanky and creating more options for me to go get direct value on. Like I definitely am feeling the pain of, sure, I can access the space easier, but what's the point of having the space if my gameplay options are significantly less than they were before, especially when heroes are being left behind? I'd love to see them create more organic value that I have to create through my agency, and not passive value that just the game just says, oh, well, you kind of have to do this. Like get rid of the tank ult charge reduction thing. I want to get rid of that. Let me farm. Let me farm hogs. Let me do that. Whatever. Here we go.
Well, anything that's anti-hog always makes me happy, but maybe Deku doesn't agree with that. Deku, how do you feel? What would you
No, I agree with
want for
that.
DPS?
I'm all for like,
Fuck.
yeah, I'm all for like nerfing the tanks, because like it just feels like no matter what you do on DPS, tank is always still going to be more important, even with the DPS passive. And I agree with Spilo that some individual DPSs need to be looked at and tweaked for their own purposes so they can keep up. But other than that, yeah.
What would you want is like your main thing?
Just nerf the tanks, please.
Nerf
They're
tanks.
they're OP.
Okay.
They're better DPSs, better bigger DPSs that do it way
True.
better. I don't know.
See, Jay, now you're gonna have to make your mind up, because it's like, are you gonna go at the tank players? You're gonna go at the support players / healer players, whatever you want to call them, or are you gonna continue to anger the Symmetra players? What do you
I'm
want?
consistent. I hate everyone.
Just a
No,
hater.
no. I feel like my biggest thing for I guess to conclude everything is like I wish the devs or even Overwatch would just answer or give us more information. Like they did an AMA, and I just learned about them changing Reaper. I never even knew that. I wish they just did more stuff like that, or even just gave us a little bit more information, or just talk to us a little bit more. But I do agree with Spilo. They need to change some of the heroes that are not performing as well. Like the very low hero pick, I guess. That's probably what I would say.
Interesting. I'll applaud both you and Deku for not bringing up just always just bring back 6v6 guys. Like that's my real answer.
They should make a game mode. I'm being honest. Make an arcade game mode. Make it like a week thing. See how people would like it. See what I think that would pop off. I think that would be a huge thing that Overwatch should do.
I agree. Bring back 6v6 guys, please.
Sam's just quietly loving life. He's like, yeah, man, look at
Dude, no, I'm honestly tired. I'm just tired, man. I'm just tired of Hog. My soul's burned out. I'm like, what is that meme where the dude's just sitting there and he's just like, is it? No, it's from Cyberpunk. It's from you got the Cyberpunk anime. It's about SVB, Dota Dragon's Blood on Netflix. You need to watch
Oh,
that.
dude, I do need to watch. I don't have a Netflix subscription anymore. I canceled that shit.
Damn, I cancel mine.
When they did all that bullshit, I was like, fuck these guys.
Wait, what bullshit? We're not gonna go on forever.
The screen sharing. But yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't even hear about this.
Yeah. I can't share with my family anymore, so fuck them. Anyways, I get you, man. I get you. And I appreciate all of you guys for giving me your time. And this was a long one, but it was a good one. Thank you for giving me such a wide depth and breadth of opinion. I hope that some of this will be helpful to the devs, and hope we'll see some cool, fun changes. Hope you guys feel less stale about the game. I hope it's exciting, and I hope at least maybe the next season brings some exciting changes for you guys to sink your teeth into. But for now, thank you to Samito, Spilo, J3, and Deku for joining me. Please show these guys some love. Thank you so much for your time, guys. Anything else you want to say before I let you get going?
No, thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much,
thanks.
guys. Peace out.
Bye-bye. All right, chat. That was a long one, huh? That was long. Wait, I gotta change. Is it? Video. Let's go with live. Hello, can you guys see me now? There we go. Well, GG's everyone. It was a nice long stream. I think I'm gonna end now because I'm tired. And I want to eat the rest of my food and I want to take a shower. And I want to go to bed early so I can get on tomorrow and stream early. Early stream tomorrow. If Salt doesn't play Dark and Dark, till 5 a.m. Alright, guys. Thanks for joining us. Elden Ring? You want me to play Elden Ring now? No, because then it'll be a competition. Let's Salt get ahead of us and then we'll catch up with him later. It's getting late. I'm tired. I'll play Elden Ring tomorrow, though. I'll play a little bit of Overwatch, or maybe I'll just play Elden Ring right out the bat. I don't know. We'll see. Oh, Spylo, no, you just raided me. I'm also ending. Guys, do we play Elden Ring? Fun podcast, man. Sorry about the tank busting stuff. Toss over in a even bigger raid. See, it's almost 11 p.m. here. I could play, yeah, I could play Elden Ring for a bit and then toss over a raid to SVB if he's still on. Yeah, I'll do that. Thanks for the raid, man. It was nice talking to you guys. I know I didn't have a lot to say. It's because I'm just a dumb hit scan player. I'm not gonna lie. I was out of my element there. But yeah, I will be right back, guys, because I need to go to the bathroom. I haven't gone to the bathroom since the podcast started. I'll be right back. Thanks again for the raid, man. Appreciate you. Be right back. Alright, I'm back. Sorry. It was fun. GG's, man. It was cool, all the ideas you guys brought up. I think I'm just a 6v6 advocate, though. I miss 6v6 so much, man. You don't even know. Alright, guys. I think it is time for Elden Ring. Let's get the PS5 controller out. Samino and Spylo should be on every podcast. True. W takes. I don't appreciate the widow hate, though, man. What did we do, man? What did we do? It's not our fault. I do hate Junkrat. He's so annoying to play against. Maybe it's because I'm playing on a laptop at lower refresh rate, but I never see his balls coming, dude. Elden Ring. God damn. Why did you stop using the curved swords? Katanas are boring. Because I want to go for a bleed build or something. That's what people recommended. And my little shitty swords do no damage. I do air shots. Okay, but that's not everybody. And you know what pisses me off the most? I didn't mention this about Junkrat. Is not being able to control your character. That just pisses me off, man. Oh, my dogs are dead. I forgot. It goes behind too. I gotta figure out how to take this guy down. I'm dead. I'm dead. Fuck. Deku, what are you doing in London? I'm staying over at my boyfriend's. Unsalted Salt's house. That's what I'm doing in London. I know, I hate delayed attacks so much. Like, just give it to me. Just fucking give it to me, bro. Look at how delayed that was. Like, oh my god, how long do you have to take? Look at this. I'm shit. I'm so shit. I don't know the timing on that. Let him edge? No. Food. Oh, okay. How did I dodge it before? Oh, it auto tracks to you? Okay. Look at that, how he swings. It's so weird. Get 'em, puppies. They're dead. How do I dodge that? How the hell do I dodge that, bro? Is there parry? I don't know. I've never played a game like this before. Oops. So I'm struggling a lot. What? That hits me? Oh my god. I'm dead. Can you dodge the wind, or do you just have to get away from it, bro? Look at that! Look at what that takes! That just swing, bro! Okay. Okay. Let me just die. Yeah, let me just die. That was a bad one. I'm muting my still hear his ass. Yeah, you guys can hear him, can't you? How am I supposed to beat this guy, chat? What's the strat? Hmm? What's the sauce? Hey, Jacob. He swings like that and then he slaps. Can't dodge this. I'm on a fucking.
Tarnished. Not unfit even to graft.
I don't want an NPC to help me. I want to beat all the bosses by myself. Chat, what level is Salt? What level am I? I'm 21. 21. Maybe I should take off my armor. Do you think that'll help? Yeah, that'll help. I don't want to level up. I want to do it in low level. I did it wrong, fuck. Wow, that does a lot of damage, guys. I'm dead. Oh, please no. Daddy, chill. Daddy, chill, man.
Not unfit even to graft.
No point in taking off the armor if you're not slow rolling with it on. Oh, am I not? You forgot something? What? Oh, I don't know. I just took it off because I look cool without it. It'd be cool. I beat all my other bosses without armor. I thought it was cool. Death count? How many are we at? I had like 10. How am I supposed to see the one that's underground? I don't know the timing, bro.
Fit even to craft.
Going for a brawless run? Yes. Just run away from them? Okay. Did you level up your weapons? No, I haven't. Ow. Just run away from that. You can add death, Sakuna. I never can dodge his bitch slap, bro. I don't know what to do against this guy. He's literally an edgelord, bro. Okay, I thought he was gonna edge that one. He didn't. He didn't edge that one either. Yeah, I don't get that. Okay, you can't do it right away. It's in a cooldown. I don't know how to add it. Oh, hello. I don't get his style. Oh, that is scary. Yeah, you just hammer that floor, my guy. You just hammer that floor. I'm gonna fucking, if he edges me again, I'm gonna fucking. That makes two of us. Guys, do you hear Salt raging? Ah! I'm so shit, guys. It's not the game, guys. It's me. Come here, doggies. Oh, my dog's dead. Look. And they didn't even do anything to him. I haven't even gotten him to second phase, guys. This is bad. Aw, I'm dead. I don't know how to get this guy. He edges, he edges, he edges. It's not fair. Man, this is pissing me off. Do I slow roll at all? Or is my roll okay? I hate it here. And he does one more swing. Why? Why the extra swing? I get you have a lot of arms, but like, fuck. I'm gonna make fucking... What the fuck? That is... his wind powers is fucking annoying. Like, fight me like a man, bitch. Go, my doggies. Oh, I'm shit. I'm so shit, guys. Well. Guys, you think I could beat him? Get him, dog! Get him! Sick him, boy! Why are you fighting my dad? Why is he your dad? I need to do more jump attacks. That one hits me right. That attack is so fucking boring. I I hate that one. I missed. That was close. Oh, my pussy! No, wait! I dodged that. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. So what's the second phase for this guy? No thanks. I don't get it. I don't get it, man. Yeah, I'm tired. I think I'm gonna go to bed. I'll beat this guy tomorrow or something. I'm in no rush. Tomorrow we beat this boss, alright? Yeah. He's already played this game like a million times though, so... That's expected. And he's level 32. I'm not gonna compare myself to him, because, like I said, he plays every Souls game known to man. I play hit scan. GG's. I wanna go to bed. I'm so tired. I'll play tomorrow. I'll get on earlier. What else? Yeah, have a good night, guys. My Elden Ring won't close. Oh, it crashed. Alright, good night. I'll see you tomorrow for more Overwatch, I guess. I can't wait to go outside, bro. I think we're going outside tomorrow. Thank fuck. I'm so tired of being fucking locked in here. See you guys. Have a good one. See you tomorrow. We'll beat this boss tomorrow when I have brain capacity and a good night's sleep, hopefully. Hopefully, guys, unless Salt plays Dark and Darker till 4 a.m. again. Good night. Bye. Level up first? No, I'm gonna do it without leveling up. Fuck that. I'm already at this boss guy. I'm gonna beat him like I beat the other bosses.